feel that. The storm is coming. We're going to get ready to take it down. Welcome to Warriors Anonymous Teamsday. We're getting all excited here for this massive clash between the One New Zealand Warriors and the Melbourne Storm, the team that everybody loves to hate. Jared Cronin, Isaac Soss, and Daniel Whatakura here to run through Teamsday. This is an exciting one, fellas. This is a big clash. Two big teams going at it. And we owe them, and we can't stand them, and there's a few things going on there, but let's have a look at the teams, shall we? The team is brought to you by our unofficial sponsor, the Magic Walk from the Johnsonville Shopping Centre. That is not an official sponsor. We just thought we'd give them a shout out because they're still around.
We're working on it. We are working on it.
Here is the teams, starting with the Melbourne Storm. Yeah. And for our team, he's well in charge. He's looking good.
It's got to try now and remember because of the bat back.
That's right. And there it is. There was the bat back indeed.
Back.
By Dylan, what are they lesbian? Yeah, that was a hell of a play.
Great play.
Number 3 is the Rocco. He did a bit of a juggling act last week as well, which was nice. Hopefully his hand is okay. But yeah, looking good, as was the controversial, the lightning rod, POMP.
Everyone's favourite player.
That's
Everyone's favourite player.
He keeps on performing and causing selection issues, as does perhaps Marcelo Inigo Montoya. A bit of a toss-up as to what's going to happen out on the left edge there, when someone else may return in a few weeks. Anyways, the guy who learnt to throw forward passes and get away with it. That's why I've decided to call him Daniel's son. I don't know what the age difference here is, bro. But
Daniel's son.
May not be possible, but that's all good. Alongside him is a new fella, Sean Johnson, I believe is his name.
Johnson.
Don't know much about him. I'm sure he'll go well. Number 8 is the Beast, the settler tackle guy who scores tries. Just does what he does. As does Magneto. Attracts the defenders. Come to me while I send the ball. Not Wayne Egan. Bit of an update to number 10 is Jackson, middle forward. He played well. He played really well. So
yeah,
interesting to see how that evolves. The edge, we mentioned on the podcast, this is one of probably the meanest looking edges in the league. Led by Puna Marata and his friend on the other side, Bluey.
Yeah.
Big Bluey Bam Bam Barnett.
Ebony and Ivory.
Short back and sides there, no long hit, no long locks in that second row.
Now, fresh was last week. A few guys coming back. A lot of guys looked really fresh, and I thought this guy looked big fresh. There's a real Johnsonville theme going on in tonight's show.
Yeah.
I know that big fresh was around the country as well, but onto the bench. Chanel is now Chanel number 14. I think he smells even better. Maybe
don't drop your balls, bro. Do not drop your balls.
Don't drop the balls. Number 15 is the glutes, the God. Trusty is always back
Moonwalker.
Moonwalker.
Yeah, Moonwalker.
Alongside him is his man, his partner in crime, the Swear Jazz. I did this last
Swear Jazz.
Swear Jazz.
We the beers, Jazz.
Number 17 is Sure, Capewell. He did well. I thought he played well.
Sure.
He's almost playing well enough to be remembered. Isaac, you got the 18th man.
Hey, must beat the Malay.
There we go. And that is the teams. Ooh. Are you fellas getting even more exciting than, or more excited, should I say, than you were before?
That's some fresh English. That's just like my mum. Good lord. You getting exciting, Isaac? Yes, mum.
Oh,
Has Jared eaten? Has Jared and Daniel eaten yet? No, I have something to eat.
Actually, no, I haven't, and that's probably part of the issue there. I'll blame it on that. But boys, what are we thinking of this team to take on the Storm? First impressions. We'll start with you, the returning guy, Daniel Whatakura.
I am excited. I just looking at their side, what they did last week, how fresh they are. Now they know what that needs to be done. You know, they had the little mini reset blip, and they're back. And I'm expecting, yeah, we never know, because you go into, you know, we've got history with the Storm, and we've got recent history. And actually, the last 2 times we've played them, we've actually been in strong winning positions, right? But yeah, you couldn't ask for better preparation and to have the best players available. Pretty much best players available. So I'm super excited. And that new guy, Jansen, is back. And look, can we just put this to rest? And then Tamati's been great, and is great, and he's lifted his capability. He's not going anywhere, but you're bringing back arguably a guy, I feel, who's even through the lean period that we had in the short period, he was putting his body on the line. He was doing everything he could to get the team on his back. And now he's got the team who are wanting to play. I'm expecting great things.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing with Sean coming back, the new guy, is that we don't need to chuck everything on his shoulders now. So, Isaac, what are you expecting to see between the 6 and the 7, between Timati and Sean?
I'm expecting to see some enterprising play. That's what I'm anticipating, that they probably would have knocked heads together this week and just try to conjure some magic up and sort of talk about how they're going to attack. And yeah, to Dan's point, people tend to forget that even though we had all those losses, Sean Johnson was still playing at a pretty high level as well, and putting his body on the line, might I say, in that game where he got injured and decided to play on because they had no one else to take his place. But I anticipate a bit of an ambush. I remember calling the ambush that the Titans put on us, and I was right about that. So hopefully I'm right that the Warriors absolutely ambush the Storm. I think they will come out all guns blazing and really try to put the Melbourne Storm on the back foot from the get-go, instead of trying to play this whole arm wrestle thing. I reckon they come out and attack. That's what I reckon is going to happen.
Oh, we're going to come flying out the gates. Ooh. Getting even more exciting now. That was deliberate. Bora, in terms of coming out of the gates at them, we're going to have Adam Fenor-Blake, we're going to have Jackson Ford, and we're going to have Tohu Harris as our 3 sort of mids. Bro, can we make some real hay with those 3 guys?
We can, and I think just across that balance, that 4 pack is strong. You know, you bring Jazz on in that period to really shore up the defence as well. Plus gets moving. Sorry, Miss Jackson Ford has been, you know, like the low-key positional change of the year so far. Look, only it's 1 game, but it just makes so much sense for everything. And not just in the middle, right? Obviously, we've got a really good edge of a seasoned, hardened footballers. So I do think we can get the dominance. There is going to be a period, right? There is going to be a period where Nas comes to play, and for some reason he loves to play against us. And if it wasn't, you know, from suplexing Wayne Egan and breaking his teeth to, you know, last year tearing us a new one in Melbourne when we were up, he is the threat as well as Harry for us, really. They're pretty solid. I don't mind chameleon. He's not too bad. But I think we do get the dominance here, but there's just periods where we've got to be careful.
Now, you mentioned Harry Grant. The matchup between Harry and Wade, aka Wayne Egan. Isaac, bro, that could really go a long way towards deciding this one.
Could be Origin level. Any sort of match up, really. I mean, they're both of that caliber. Harry Grant will ease into the game, you know, and wait for the right times to impose himself with his running game. But I think Wade from the get-go will start messing around in the ruck and really start manipulating those defenders. Melbourne's defence is, you know, top tier, but I think Wade's probably got the skill to unlock that defence of theirs. yeah, I just get this feeling they're going to pull some surprises, the Warriors, and Wade's probably going to be a big part of that. There might be some shifty short side movements now that they can play both sides of the field. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something same, but a little bit different, just a little bit more enterprising from the Warriors, and that's where Wade comes into it with what he can do around the ruck.
I think we really need to add one thing, is that from the fact that Harry Grant will play majority of the game too. I don't think they technically have a bench hooker.
All forwards, yeah.
All forwards. I mean, what's his name? Tyron Wishart's been doing that role, but he's playing 6. So there has to be just traffic on traffic at Harry in the middle, just to really limit that energy. Because I know when he's played us and he's come off the bench, he's been fizzing, right? And sometimes if you shut down his options, he just goes around in circles. But if there is he's probably the best in the game at that little broken sort of line up where there's perhaps a little bit of a lazy marker or someone left on the ground. He's hard to contain. So I'm just expecting, us to run super amounts of traffic at him.
And I reckon he'll probably try time his attacking plays when Nas is on the field. So I wouldn't be surprised if at that time Webster starts rolling in the guys like Jazz to shore up the defence, and if not put a hit on Nas or something like that, but really try and stop him in his tracks and limit his damage and his quick play of the ball. Because if he does get that, which he has done in the past against us, Harry Grant is going to go bananas.
Mm. And they don't need much, as we saw in the last game. They just need the slightest sort of opportunity or defensive lapse, and they can strike from anywhere on the field, really, which is scary. But we know that we're up for it. I think, especially when we look at the bench, we've got Chanel Harris-Tavita going back to be the 14th man, which is just tailor-made for him. He's a guy who can pretty much play anywhere on the field. Add in Dylan Walker, Jazz Tavanga, and Kurt Capewell. Now that's a pretty solid bench. I think that would stack up against across anyone in the NRL. How do you think that will help us on Saturday, Buddha?
Well, I just think, I put a post up the other day, and I just look at that whole forward pack as well as the interchange options, and you go a long way to find a better forward pack. I think most kind of balanced forward pack with capability, seniority, as well as just the kind of players in form as well. So if you look at that, we're balanced pretty strong, and I think I mentioned to you boys the fact that we've solved the edge issue. I think, how do you get what was 4 players potentially into 2 spots? Now you're kind of going, how do you get 3 players into 2 spots, and you give them pretty much 55-60 minutes each, and it tends to do the job. So I mean, you couldn't ask to have a better set of forwards back at the moment, and I think the roles they play, I think even Tohu and Dylan Walker, I wouldn't be surprised if Dylan starts and just give Tohu that off the bench role as well. And I've just been a massive fan of Jazz's line speed when he comes into the sort of 15 minutes before half time as well, where you just need a little bit of that kind of aggressive line speed on tackle 1, tackle 2, because that's when the set gets away from you. And I think we saw that going back a few weeks to the Penrith game as well. People talk about why Brian To'o wasn't as effective is because guys like Jazz would rush out of the line and just make tackles as well. So it's a really good balance. And bearing in mind, we've still got some quality to not even make that team, right? Like Bunty's out and Tomali, who arguably have been pretty solid.
Yeah, that's a very good point. It's pretty good when you have.
If you look
players
across that whole
healthy
forward pack, I mean, which includes the bench, I mean, you're looking at all international or Origin reps bar 2 players, Jackson Ford and arguably Wade Egan, who probably shouldn't play Origin, but they're all rep level players, really.
Mm. Yeah, handy golfer.
Yeah, Wade's knocking. He's right there, but that's crazy.
There's something I just love about athletes that can play golf that level as well.
That's a different podcast, I think. Isaac, what are the keys, bro? What are our keys to victory to finally get this monkey off our back?
I'm sorry, my laptop's fucking out. That's just skipping all over the place. Did you just ask me a question?
I did. Mr. Simpson. I was going to say, what are your keys to victory for the Wars?
Yeah, something's up with my laptop, hey? I don't know. I'm so far behind the play. I'll try and interpret what you just said.
Go ahead.
It was about what are our keys to victory? Was that it?
This is great. This is top quality. Go ahead.
I'm lagging so far behind. I'm so sorry.
You can talk and we'll hear you.
1 minute later.
Okay. He's yeah. All right. Put the fish on the screen then if you can't or when you can hear us at least. Buddha, what are the keys, bro? What are we gonna do to take out the Storm?
So big focus really is shutting down guys like Xavier Coates coming out of the backfield as well. So really putting pressure on them, kick the corners, that sort of thing. You know, our game plan. Really limit Harry Grant's involvement as well. Trying to make sure that he doesn't get to run off the back of play the balls as well. So obviously, naturally, got to win the ruck, and kind of just limit the damage. You know, a guy like Nas will have as well. That impact. We can go a long way to containing them. We'll go a long way to winning the game.
Yeah, nice, bro. Nice. Well, this has been a pretty, I think, a ramped up edition of Teamsday as we head into an extra exciting match. This one was brought to you by the Magic Walk in Johnsonville Shopping Centre. Give it a try. It's been going for about 30 years because it's still there. And last word, we'll put the last word to you, Isaac. Go ahead. Couldn't have said it better. Thank you, fellas. Jerry Cronin, Isaac Sauce, and Daniel Whanakura. One of us is lagging. That's all good. This has been Teamsday, and yeah, we'll talk soon. Up the wires. Go the Warriors. There's the fish.
Oh, you got it.